Hello everyone. Welcome to Sports Host's first of its kind cricket podcast, where enthusiastic and passionate cricket fans like us just get together every week, and we'll be discussing and covering India's league matches. And while today it is the preview of the first game that we had, and sorry, the recap of the first game that we had, and the preview of the next game. Let me begin by introducing myself. I am Alan, and I have with me Vidhi, and we are your hosts for today. And I'll go ahead and let our new panelists introduce themselves, starting with Parth.
Hey guys, my name is Pat, and this is the first time I'm doing this podcast, and I'm really looking forward to it. But after the first game, hopes have really gone down the drain. So let's look forward to this podcast.
Yeah, Hinal, you can go ahead.
Yeah, hi. First of all, thank you for having me today. It's so I'm excited. By profession, I'm a finance student, but that doesn't make me any less of a crazy nerd when it comes to cricket. So yes, I'm excited for the discussion.
Hey guys, thanks for having me and giving me this opportunity. I am Bhavesh Raj Singhani, currently pursuing MBA in Sports Management.
Hey guys, I'm Vidhi. I'll be your co-host in the second podcast. Today, as Alan spoke, we will talk about the review of the first match and our preview, our opinions about the second match and what should be done, what should not be done. How can Team India go forward? So yeah, let's just get right into it. Um, so the first segment that we'll be talking about is obviously the review of the first match that we had, that dreaded day, 24th of 24th of this month, a day that we'll gladly like to forget as Indian cricket fans. But a lot to be learned from the same game, a lot to take forward for the Indian team. Uh, so yeah, so I'll just put forth the first question towards Hinal. What do you think were the key takeaways from the first match that we had?
Yeah, for me, the key takeaways would be, first of all, not to lose wickets early on, especially in those power play. Those are the critical, and we should utilize those 6 overs and make use of them. The fielding restrictions. If we look out the dismissals of Rahul and Rohit, yes, the lot of credit goes to Shaheen Afridi, but then we can't use it as an excuse or anything. But then if we look at the dismissal of Surya, for me, I would say, it was a nothing kind of a shot and not a shot that one should play in that kind of situation, especially when you had Virat on the other side, who knows exactly how to focus on the strike rotation. So, yeah, and the second would be the bowling. Yes, you are required to pick up the early wickets when you are defending such par total or maybe below par total, I would say. So I think the kind of confidence or spark, maybe Bumrah, Bhuvi, or even Shami that brings while starting off things, that aggressiveness was missing for me, I would say, in those power play overs. So yeah, and I didn't understand why Bumrah was not given another over in the power play. I felt like he should have. And the last point I would focus on was yes, as I mentioned, picking up early wickets were important, and this defeat against Pakistan was our first, defeat by 10 wickets in T20 game. So while having a bowling attack of such a amazing pacers and even Varun Chakravarti and Jadeja, so but they weren't able to give us even a single breakthrough. So for me, I think the problem was the length of the bowlers. While you are looking for, according to me, while you're looking to pick up wickets, it's important to use the variation, which I didn't felt that they use. I just felt that the bowlers bowled a bit short and they didn't bowl the open up, I would say, the conditions which were on offer at that pitch. And yep, I we faced the issue of extra sixth bowler in the match. But now, as I think Hardik is fit, and if he bowls in the next match, so I think we can, his spell would be crucial for us.
I really like that you bring up the point of the aggression that was missing. Like the Indian team is like, we're known to have that aggression. We're known to have that kind of spark, like taking the game away from anywhere, any point in the match. We are that kind of a team. but that I think that was missing. Lack of intent is what probably lost us the game. Another thing that pops into my head is like, where do you think, Bhavesh, where do you think we really lost the game?
I think the blow of Rohit and Rahul in the first 3 overs was very crucial. Like Pakistan dominated the game by 30% there. So they have like a fair chance there, and we lost Surya also in the power play. So we were around 35 for 3 or 40 for 3 in the power play. So like it's very difficult in a match like this when you have Hardik and like Rishabh Pant not in that form you are expecting. Rishabh Pant played really well. Virat Kohli also played well, but can't capitalize to what we see Virat Kohli do. So I think score was less, but the way Pakistani batters played in the power play, I think the power play session of both the teams decided that game. So I think Virat Kohli can go through with Varun Chakravarti more and Jasprit Bumrah more in the power play. But on the hindsight, we can say that. But I think it was not a good day for our bowlers, like experienced bowlers like Bhuvneshwar and Shami. So I think both the power plays decided the factor. I think.
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
And I agree with that.
I quite agree with you too. Uh, it's quite unbelievable, right? A bowling lineup that has both Shami and Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar, even though he's a little bit out of form, but a bowling lineup this strong, not getting even a single wicket is in an ICC event. It's a little unbelievable, but it happened. It humbled us. Uh, anyway, so yeah, I like that you bring up the point of the bowlers not like shining through and getting their way done. The aftermath of the match is something that us as Indian fans should be ashamed of. It should something that should not have happened. Um, I think us as responsible fans of this team and this game, we should really be speaking about what happened after the match was totally bizarre. It should not have happened. And sport is secular. Let it remain secular. No, none of the players have to, prove their patriotism with every match that passes. That's not what sport is. That's not at all the spirit of sport. We should, us as cricket fans, us as Indian cricket team fans, we should always be backing our players no matter the result. What do you guys think?
I think India is a secular country, so like putting that religion sort of thing, I don't think that's nice. Even Rizwan posted that on Twitter too, so it's not a good image building of a country.
Correct.
Yeah, I would just say a line that we as a fans are not defined how we celebrate the victory of the team, but how we support them in this kind of situation. एक मैच हार गए and they are all in Twitters and Instagram, abusing our players. So yeah, I don't think it's
Very emotionally driven.
It is an emotional game. I mean, but what happened with Shami was absolutely bizarre. I mean, we have people say that everyone is together, but when these things happens, it really does question that this person who has been working for the last 20 odd years trying to get it into the Indian team, making it to the highest level, getting not just that, performing there, and more than that, he's sacrificed a lot. Shami, him getting such stick is not right. And I'd also like to call out the Indian players. There was not enough support by the current Indian squad. There was everybody else who was tweeting that what is happening against Shami is wrong. We saw Harsha Bhogle, Sunil Gavaskar, even foreign players like Michael Vaughan were tweeting. But there was a lack of support from the current Indian squad, and I think that is something that should have been, that should have happened for Shami. He deserves it.
Correct. Okay, so yeah, this was about the first segment, the preview of the review of the first match. I'd like to pass it on to Alan now to preview the next match that we have on Sunday against New Zealand.
Right. And well said, guys. Like, what about the social media abuse and everything I spoke about? All of this has no space, in our game. I mean, our game is meant to be played with respect, and on the field, yes, it's played with fierce competitiveness, but off the field, we have respect for each and every individual, because every individual puts in a lot of hard work. So this has no space in the game, and exactly, it's just wrong. And I hope that we as fans learn to grow, apart from all of this. And well, this second segment, the last time when we did this, I spoke about India Pakistan being the bonanza, but this match is sort of the virtual quarterfinal now, I guess, for both these teams. And it's funny, India finds itself in such a position with just playing one game, and teams are already done playing almost 3 games, and India is just watching everything fold, just in silence. So and I mean, their record against New Zealand is nothing to be proud against. So we will be nervous as cricket fans, yes, after the loss that we've had against Pakistan, which was a dominating performance. I spoke about Rizwan in the last podcast as well, and I mean, I'm glad that as an analyst, it was right that he came good, but as an Indian fan, it just broke my heart, because I mean, those two like just were putting apart good balls, bad balls. I mean, I don't even know if there was any ball that was like good to them, because every ball was just like going to the boundary, it just belonged to the boundary. So yeah, just a great display of batting, some dominant performances, and Pakistan is looking good to make it to the semis for sure. Let's hope we can spoil someone's party. So yeah, my first question will go to Parth. Parth, now imagine you put yourself in Kohli's shoes, and after such, a humbling defeat. I mean, what according to you, would be the conversations going around in the dressing room? And do you think that, as a team, they'll panic and make like these stop-start changes in, and because all these experts have so many opinions, of making wholesale changes already to the game. We saw that interview with the journalist and Kohli, right? So what do you think? Do you think they'll do that, or do you think they'll, just like gather themselves and back the team to do it again?
I mean, look, Virat, after the defeat, Virat Kohli was all, smiling, shaking hands with the Pakistani players, showing off as if it's not a big deal. But I'm sure he must have given hell to the players inside the dressing room. He would not have been happy with the way we performed. And look, I think Virat Kohli has been leading RCB and Team India for a long time now. He has experience, dealing in these tough situations because he's been there. He's been a captain for a long time. So I think Virat Kohli I think he'll back his gut. But I think at the same time, we've had 2 practice games. We have had the IPL before in the same venues, you can say. There are certain players who have definitely not performed, and namely Hardik Pandya and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who are absolutely, I mean, just out of their depth in the first game and in the practice games. But if you can take Shardul Thakur and Ishan Kishan in their place, I think it more than a panic of a change. I think it would be something that is coming. I mean, yeah, like this. I think those changes are necessary to the team right now, just because I think that will even boost Hardik's confidence to get back into the team. Might help him actually. If he sits out a couple of games, he can actually focus and get back into the Indian team.
Yeah, that's a fair point. You might just give that player the extra motivation to sort of do well. Fair point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the bowling was lackluster. It just didn't have that oomph in their run up, in their bowling, in the way they just approached the pitch. Just nothing worked for India. I think it was just one of those days that nothing went right. I mean, I remember watching the United game as well simultaneously, and just everything was going wrong, all apart. It was I think they scored a boundary and someone scored a goal, and it just simultaneously happened so many times. And the matches also ended, I think, at somewhat the same time. So yeah, it was just not a good day, I guess, for some sports fans.
I mean, you are a United fan. I'm a Barcelona fan, so I think both of us tasted some bitter taste that day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually I've just started watching football, so I'm neutral. But I was with my friend, and he was just heartbroken. I mean, I could just see it on his face. It was just not a sight for like good eyes at all. Bad day. So when I was researching, like we all know, like New Zealand and India record in the ICC is not something we'll be proud of. It's I think that they're one team that even though if they're not strong, we would just be scared because of the history that we've had. And I was looking at the ICC T20, World Cup games that we have, and we've only played two. And interestingly, both the times there's a spinner from the opposition's team who's got the player of the match. And in the 2007 game, it was Daniel Vettori, and in the 2016 game, it was Mitchell Santner's left arm bowling that won them the game. And I think Ish Sodhi as well got 2 or 3 wickets in that game, and I think we were just like in shambles. Yeah, so Mitchell Santner's left arm was, what won them the game in the 2016, and Ish Sodhi as well got 2, 3 wickets that game. So both of those bowlers are there this time as well. And I feel like India again find themselves, in that spot of bother because our batsmen, at least the top order batsmen, have been a little bit iffy with spin, off late. Kohli also, we all say that all these players are good players of spin, but he also has deliveries, where you all remember that shocked Kohli face, he's just like completely bamboozled. He doesn't know what happened to him, and he's just like, what just happened? So it gives me some anxiety as a Indian cricket fan that it's New Zealand and India, but looking at the New Zealand team and the makeup of their team, they're also looking like they're missing that X factor player. So hopefully we bounce back and we sort of get the 2 points that we need. And I was looking at matchups as well. Vidhi and I were discussing matchups in this match that we see sort of happening. And one matchup that it has bloomed in the recent times is Kyle Jameson and Virat Kohli. He's sort of been his bunny, if you could call him. Like with you, we were just talking, and that New Zealand tour that happened in 2020. His height and the bounce that he gets, and Kohli's intent to always come to the ball on the front foot and feel for the ball, and Kyle Jameson, I think that perfect baller, to just come and foil Kohli's plans, and he's gotten him out so many times, even in the World Test Championship final, he got him out. So that is one matchup. If they play Kyle Jameson, you don't know what their team's makeup would be. And we also spoke about how Devon Conway is this sort of batsman. He's pretty experienced as a person. I would say he's 30 odd years, so he's pretty experienced. He's pretty new in the New Zealand circuit, at least international. But yeah, he's I think he's a finished player, and a debut, on your debut you're making a double century at Lords. You don't do that very often if you're not a very good player. So he's someone to watch out for. And if they play Ashwin, that could be a matchup that we could see happening. And Jimmy Neesham, I think, also is someone who's not someone who's in that such great form. So Ashwin is that kind of player who can get anyone on any kind of day. So if they choose to go for matchups like these, because we also focus a lot on matchups, but Kohli in his mind does not look at these matchups a lot. He's very rigid when he has his team structure made. He does not look to change it. So we'll see what happens. And another one was again the left armour and our top order in Trent Bolt and Rohit and Rahul. Their Achilles heel, if we could call it. My God, if he gets some swing, then it will be something that would put us in panic again. But I'm hoping
Let's just hope to win the toss for starter.
Yeah, oh my God, if that happens, but it's Kohli. I think we can say with confidence that he won't win the toss. Let's just take it. We can just say that वो नहीं जीतेगा, नहीं होगा. मैच जीत लेगा कहीं से, टॉस नहीं जीतेगा.
टॉस तो नहीं होगा.
जीतेगा.
वो नहीं हो पाएगा हमसे. If he does, then something wrong, because more often than not, whenever he wins the toss, like in situations like these, whatever he ends up doing works against him.
Dhoni should come for toss.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Faf du Plessis did it, right? Once.
Yeah.
He did it.
Faf du Plessis did.
Yeah,
he used to send Quinton de Kock for the toss, if I'm not wrong.
I think
he brought Bavuma with him.
Bavuma, right?
It was a test
Oh yeah,
match.
sorry, Bavuma.
Yeah.
That was
It's
the
like
toss.
a lucky charm to get with you.
Yeah.
So Virat should also bring Dhoni.
Yeah.
I mean, if that gets him his luck, so let's try. But
I think at this point, anybody Virat gets will be better luck than
yeah,
what
I
Virat
mean, he would
gets.
just say कि कोई भी आ जाओ और बता दो मुझे कि कैसे करूँ मैं क्या करूँ. Anyway, okay, fine. So, okay, that gets me to my next question. So, yesterday we got the good news of Hardik Pandya bowling in the nets. And it may not be that, he immediately starts bowling, it does give, us fans some positive hope. And, at least in that sixth bowling sense, we'll have at least 2 overs sorted. We might have to figure out what to do about the other two. But if Hardik is able to contribute even a little bit, it'll go a long way for this balance of the team, because they are very keen on backing him as that finisher at number 6, and which is fair. I think he has credentials backing him for that number 6 position, but it is high time that he justifies it, because it's a World Cup and you will not be able to get as many opportunities. And in such a passionate fan circle of ours, I don't think fans will also tolerate too many bad performances from him, and which is fair. It's a World Cup, so he has to come good. So Bhavesh, what do you think? Matlab, if Hardik bowls, do you think that they will keep Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the team and protect him for sort of another game? Or do you think Shardul Thakur, will come into the game, because he is that golden arm? He is Lord Shardul Thakur for a reason. So what do you see happening?
I really don't think that Bhuvi should go out. Like, he played one match, his figures were also not that bad. I think he went for 25 runs in 3 overs. So if you played him for the first match, or else didn't play him the first match only, so I don't think that like it would be a knee-jerk reaction. I think for sure, like replacing Shardul with Bhuvi. One thing which can be done, like you can replace Bhuvi with Ashwin if you want an extra spinner, controlled spinner. So I think Ashwin could be a better option. But if you want to bring Shardul in the team, I think you can only replace him with Hardik Pandya. So I don't think Bhuvi should be replaced with Shardul. That won't give a good sign. Hardik, like talking about the Hardik form also, he has not proved himself in batting. So can you guess like what's the Hardik's highest score in T20 for India? I just checked that out.
I don't think he have a half century in international.
He does not have a half.
33, 43 or something like that.
42 is highest score.
42, yeah.
So I think you can replace Shardul with Hardik. It's high time. I think Hardik form is also dipping, and I think you can replace Shardul with Hardik.
I feel like they'll back him just for one more game. I think this game is again.
But this is knockout.
Do or die. Do or die. I think they'll back him, because
Yeah, I mean,
if he's bowling and
we
they're very, I think they're very careful in how they play with their fans. They're posting Hardik bowling, and also, I also they think they're telling the fans कि नहीं हम, we are going to back Hardik, and अभी वो bowling भी कर रहा है, तो उन पता है वो game में contribute कर पाएगा, back him.
Like I haven't seen that much of suspense in one player.
Yeah,
Like,
true. That is also a very good point.
That why I agree with Bhavesh here is because Shardul we talked about the T20 international 5 series match that we had with New Zealand last year. Shardul was the one who provided us important breakthroughs in that match. So the super over, he gave us two odd wickets or something, and in the same match he gave us 2 wickets in his 4-over spell. I think Shardul has a pretty good records in T20 internationals, to be specific, not the ICC events, because he's not played that many. Yeah, he's not played that.
yeah.
So I think
great in continue.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that bringing Shardul in could prove to be beneficial for
Yeah,
the
like
team.
Hardik is very good in IPL, but I don't think for
Yeah,
India.
because
But I
highest
think they won't make, because if
Yeah, they
you make
won't,
too many
they won't.
changes, then everyone will be like, "Arey nahi," they're panicking now.
Yeah, if
I'm just
Hardik
asking for
bowls,
one change.
nothing like it.
Yeah, if he works, then nothing like it. And I think he also wants to
Then
do
he
it.
doesn't
wants
perform,
to do it.
then वो लोग वापस.
वो bowl
Like,
करेगा
could you-
तो there's nothing like it. He's a
Yeah.
pretty good
Like
bowler.
if he also bowls, we don't see him bowling. So like, how could we know that he's in that bowling form or not? If he even
I
bowls
know.
and goes
Agreed.
in one
That's also a
over,
fair point.
Agreed.
Fair point,
And I think
yes,
one more bowler they'll miss is, Yuzvendra
Chahal.
Chahal.
They will definitely miss him.
We were looking it up, and Vidhi told me that Chahal has had, the wicket of Kane Williamson, a lot of times. That series that we just spoke about
Yeah.
in 2020, he got him out, I think, 3 times, if I'm not wrong, Vidhi, out of the
Two
five
or three
games.
times, I'm also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, he is someone they'll miss, but we have to back our boys. If Rahul Chahar has been selected, we have to back him. He's also been selected because he has shown something, inside him, the spark they sees that he can make a difference. So I don't know if they're thinking of sort of putting him in, because Varun Chakravarti, face it, in that game he looked like he had no answers to the batting of Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam. He just looked ineffective. To be fair, everyone did, but the whole mystery spin tagline that he brought with him, I read somewhere, I don't know where, I think it was Twitter or some social media platform or something, that someone said कि, these people face such kind of bowlers in their streets a lot. ऐसे bowlers जो अपने उंगलियों से ही ऐसे डालते हैं, mystery spinners and all. They were saying
Yeah.
we face a lot of these bowlers in our streets, playing tape ball cricket or tennis ball cricket and all. So they say, even like you all might consider it to be a mystery, but for a lot of these people, because they've not come up from the general academy level type, playing, and they've come from these tournaments and these T10 cricket and PSL and all these tennis ball tournaments and all. So they also mentioned that it's not so much of a mystery. But
But like I think Babar and
Yeah,
Rizwan
that-
played them really well. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were shuffling towards the off and targeting Varun towards leg. So they were playing them really well. But I think New Zealand can't play them.
Yeah,
Can't play Varun.
yeah, that's what I think.
Varun should be
Varun
there.
will be there for sure. They should back him, because I think he has fitness issues as well.
Yeah.
So given that 1 week का भी rest मिला है, I think it's better if we utilize him now, because we have 2 games back to back after this. So I don't think he'll be able to, do so much in such less amount of time.
Yeah, I think India should also go with one extra spinner for this match. Like they should go with 3 spinners against New Zealand.
You think so? I
New
think
Zealand are
because
formidable opponents, man.
yeah, I think they
New
have
Zealand
Jadeja, right?
are-
Then left arm Jadeja, they might just be like, we'll back Jadeja to come good against them.
Yeah, Jadeja. Yeah.
Could be
Because
a
you
point.
can't if we play 3 spinners, I think we lose a lot of batting depth.
Right, our batting order becomes a little thin. Then,
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
there's no way we are
It will.
taking out Shami or Bumrah. You take out Bhuvi as well. There's
No.
nobody to bat after number 8.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No.
that would be a problem.
That
So
will be.
that is a problem going with 3 spinners. But I think New Zealand are formidable opponents, man. They're good players of spin. Or it might seem surprising, but Kane Williamson, Martin Guptill, and Conway all have shown that they
Conway.
can play spin
Yeah,
pretty well.
definitely.
So I mean,
Kapil isn't playing this match now. He's injured.
No,
I
I think he's fit.
No, I think he's
fit.
playing. I think he's playing.
already.
he's playing.
But what they're missing, I think, is that middle order hitter sort of. वो Glenn
Colin
Phillips अभी तक चला नहीं है
Grandhoff.
उनका, अभी तक.
हाँ,
Tim
a player
Seifert-
like Colin D.
Tim
Grandhoff.
Seifert also I think is not playing in the right position for a person like him. I think he's better off opening. He's just misplaced in this side. At least that's
Who?
what I feel. Tim Seifert.
Oh yeah,
Inside.
Yeah.
He's playing
Yeah.
at 7, number
I think
7.
yeah, exactly. It's too low for him.
Exactly.
I think Glenn
It's
Phillips
too low for him.
he can
I mean,
gamble,
number
but
5. He's number 5 material. Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely playing too low.
They are playing
good
Jimmy
for us.
Neesham. at
Yeah,
4.
exactly. They're playing Jimmy Neesham. I think Jimmy Neesham can do a better job at that. His number and Tim Seifert can come up, but they think
I
otherwise.
don't think so. Yeah.
Good for us. I mean, if they have a messed up batting order, it helps us only. So let's hope they don't get it right. Okay, fine. So this was the preview segment. Let's hope and pray that the New Zealand curse, just like Pakistan broke their India and ICC curse, and England broke their West Indies and ICC curse, that India also breaks it. I think it'll happen. I have very strong feelings that it'll happen. This is the world edition of curse breaking, so I think it'll happen. And that gives us time to move on to the next segment, and I'll give it to Vidhi to take it forward.
So I like that we talked about the matchups, the New Zealand matchups, because the last time we talked about Pakistan matchups, all of them came true and all of them turned against us. The Rizwan matchup, the Shaheen Afridi matchup, all of the I was so frustrated that all of those came true and it stood against us. Okay, anyway, so yeah, okay. So coming to the third segment, let's talk about women in cricket. Let's just divert towards women in cricket. Okay, so Heenal, we performed. The Indian women performed pretty well in the BBL. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's amazing to see our 8 women's playing in the BBL. I mean, they have all been performing sensational so far. If we talk about Richa Ghosh, she's batting at number 4 for the Hurricanes, and she's providing the perfect balance for the batting lineup. In fact, the last knock that she played of 24 not out something, we saw how she kept her nerve and drove her team safely to the victory. And coming back to the Melbourne versus Sydney Thunder, my favorite, first of all, the Smriti versus Jamima. Say than the talent the Indian women team accommodates. I mean, Jamima opening the innings, scoring 75 not out. Her best friend Smriti opens for Sydney, scores a 50. Then, in fact, Dipti in the same match recording the figures of 4 for 23 something. Of course, they both weren't able to take Sydney over the finishing line, but we saw how competition was built up, and eventually it was decided by the Indian women in the single match. So it's been amazing to see the Indian women's dominating the matches in BBL. And of course, Smriti was dismissed by our captain Harmanpreet. So we as a fans enjoy that also, as we do in IPLs and yeah. And on that note,
On verbal
if we talk
banter.
about yeah. And on that note, if we talk about our captain, Harmanpreet, I mean, even she has been delivering crucial performances for Melbourne, picking up those wickets in difficult situations when the team needs, and also scoring those 20 to 30 runs and finishing things off for the team. So, and of course, I can't forget to mention Shefali, my favorite personally. I mean, for me, the highlights would be the 63 run partnership with Perry in her second match itself, scoring first 50 in BBL, and it just took me away the her innings, the shots that she played. Of course, she haven't been in a great touch in the last couple of match, but we all know what she's capable of. So yeah.
Just 17 years of age. That it's insane how promising Indian women's cricket is. Okay, so the next topic that I wanted to talk about, so much happened in the last week, right? The 2 new IPL teams that came up. I wanted to ask Parth this question. What do you think? What are the repercussions going to be of the 2 new IPL teams coming up? What opportunities? What might change in the IPL scenario?
I mean, look, this is not the first time we've had 10 teams in the IPL, but
Yeah.
the last time it was there, we moved from a 60 match calendar to I think a 74 match calendar or something of that sort. And yeah, I mean, you think of it that you get to see more matches. IPL runs for a longer time. It is a great place. There's a lot of there's so much talent in India. I think with 2 new teams, even squad positions can open up, reserve positions can open up. I think it will be a great showcase to bring in even much more younger talent that what recently IPL has brought in. That's some great part. Commercially, of course, it's a great thing for IPL to have a team in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is it's one of the most developed cities in India right now. It's doing pretty well. So, and getting Lucknow, there is a market over there. We have not, IPL has not been able to penetrate that market except for, Delhi over there and Kolkata. But there's an entire North India region that there is no IPL team present. So I think Lucknow getting there will be a very big thing for them. I mean, I don't know how it will go for player attention and everything, but I think 2 new teams in the IPL will be exciting as long as they don't jumble it up or make it too ridiculous for one team to I mean to make it too ridiculous for the other 2 teams to even be competitive. So I hope that happens.
Absolutely. The next auction is going to be damn exciting because it's a whole mega auction scenario because everybody will change teams. And
I think it will
I
be
just
that
read
type
the
where you
news.
can only retain 4 players, right?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
read the news that I think Shreyas Iyer will not play with Delhi next year. He might just go for captaincy in another team. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy next year.
Delhi will be
Okay.
kicking themselves.
Mumbai Indians able to retain Hardik, then they'll go with
Um,
Rohit Bumrah. in Pollard.
God knows what is going to happen next.
Yeah, it's going to get very interesting to see what choices these
Yeah.
teams make now. What is their
Exactly.
future, planning according to all of these IPLs?
Exactly.
I think this is a little ridiculous, but after watching Ruturaj talk so well in his post-match shows, I've become a Ruturaj Gaikwad fan. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
definitely,
going
Nature he
crazy
definitely.
about
I mean,
Ruturaj
if they
Gaikwad.
don't retain
So-
him, they're making a mistake.
Yeah, I think he
They
should
will,
go
they
to
will,
another
they
team and just captain it from there.
No,
just
no.
lead it
I
from
I
the front.
think
It'll
But
be
less
his,
said,
brownie
less
points
said.
it'll be his
for
franchise,
Ruturaj.
right?
Less
Brownie
said, less
points for
said. They
You
Ruturaj
can
won't
get
do
because
a
it.
he's
Virat
from
Kohli.
Pune as well, no?
I know exactly,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, of course, that is more towards the heart, but still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of my close friends, college, like he was in their college and all. They used to meet him.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Yeah, when he used to play, like for his state level and all, they used to meet him. So it's pretty cool. It's very cool. Like someone like that. I mean, now look at what he's doing and where he is. He's great.
Yeah,
Insane he has been
exactly.
this year. Insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Okay, so just moving towards the next question that I wanted to ask Bhavesh. Totally, like, it's a totally different format, but yeah, I just want to talk about it because ये चीज ये week में decide हुई कि we'll be playing the fifth test match that was pending. It was forfeited, it was cancelled, it was postponed, whatever that was, the whole fiasco. It is finally taking place next year in July. What are your thoughts?
I'm very excited for the last test match. Like we are up 2-1, so it's a win-win situation for us. We can't lose it from here. So I think, yeah, India will be very excited for that. Schedule might be very hectic. They have to be on ground for 11 days in 17 days of tour. So schedule will be hectic. But one thing which haunts me is that Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer will be there this time for the last test. They will be there. And I think it could be a farewell last test match of Jimmy Anderson. I think Jimmy Anderson can announce his retirement in that test.
Yeah.
Reports, I think I saw in one report that it could be a last test for Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, I think he might announce his retirement after the.
But he
Ashes
can
this
wait.
year,
He
but
can
yeah,
wait for 6 months. He can wait for 6
Yeah.
months.
for a home match. Yeah,
This
he
is
can.
last series, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
Correct.
was out in that series.
Correct.
There's the Ashes though.
And is he not?
Ashes might be the last series for Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah,
Might be,
Virat
might be.
versus Jimmy would be the last in the fifth match.
I think if
Wouldn't
they're in
be
a
like
position
He
to
can
win
stretch
the
for
Ashes,
once.
it could be his last game. If they don't,
Yeah,
then he might be like,
exactly.
like one more time, ek aur baar, final stretch.
Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer will, but
Oh yeah, they'll be a threat. I mean, that's one thing
yeah.
that I'm not like in favor of. कि series खत्म हो गया था वहाँ. Give it to us. But it's fine. I mean, now if they want to take it as a fifth test, they'll take it.
That is a
I'm
challenge we like to take.
backing the boys to do it. I think they'll do it.
Yeah.
But with Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer, you're just a little.
I think one rule should be made that you can't change the squad. Good. You can't change the squad.
I mean, it's a fair argument, but I don't think
Yeah.
England will be like England will be in any mood to listen after what we
Yeah.
did.
Oh yeah.
No, yes.
Yeah, no mood to listen after what we did. Definitely not. इसीलिए तो 17 दिन में 11 दिन का मैच खिला रहे सब मतलब पूरा निकाल के ले रहे के you are cancelled a test match, so now take it now.
That's true, man. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was about the third segment. I'll just pass it on to Alan to conclude the podcast for today.
Right. So, we've covered a lot. I'm actually just glad that this week is coming to an end and we have games to witness and we can feel like Indian fans alive again, because this past week has been a dreadful week where we've just been inside and looking back at the loss. It's very hard as cricket fans, to have no games of your team and just sit, across and taking such a big loss. But yes, come the game, comes new hope, comes new beginnings, and we're backing the team to do it. And we conclude this podcast with all our hopes and all our wishes with the Indian team. And I thank everyone for giving us your time. This was, a fun, great conversation. And we'll be back next week again with another podcast. Again, looking back at hopefully an Indian victory and the upcoming games that they have. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice conversation.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you,
Nice talking to
guys.
all.
Thank you.
Chalo, let's meet next week.